Jeonju is really known for its history and culture. So we're gonna do a few of the sites that you can go to while you're in Jeonju. This is PungNamMun, the south gate of Jeonju. And that means that there's three other ones, the north, the east, and the west. However, this is the only remaining one after the rest have been destroyed. This used to be surrounding a fortress, and this would have been one of the gates that led you inside the fortress. And originally was destroyed by the Japanese.
Why is it still here?
It was rebuilt in 1768.
So this is not the original one?
No, this is all that's left. But there you go.
It's on a roundabout.
I think we're at the back of it actually. JeonDong Cathedral, a Catholic church. It was built in 1914, more than 100 years after the death of 2 martyrs in Korea. Yeah. It has a very European Romanesque style and is considered one of the most beautiful cathedrals in Korea. It is said to have been built with materials of other buildings that have been destroyed over the years.
That's both kind of morbid and kind of cool at the same time. I think that's the thing about Korea. They've sort of had so many countries invade, but they continue to rebuild, and now they're one of the bigger driving forces of technology and consumerism in the world.
We're here at the Jeonju Hanji Museum.
It's a paper museum made in the traditional Korean style.
Getting to the entrance of the museum or the factory grounds is a little bit confusing, but we will give you a guided tour.
Unfortunately, it is a little bit far away from the Hanok Village. This is a factory, so they do have a process of checking in as a guest and getting to the museum, which is on the factory grounds. First you have to sign in, and then they'll direct you to a building close to the entrance. Someone will meet you and guide you upstairs to the museum.
As soon as you enter, they take you up to the second floor in which the exhibitions are held, and you can take your time and look around.
There are 3 different sections, and they recommend you to do it in a specific order. The first one is the history of Hanji, the second one is the future of Hanji, and the third one is a special exhibition. Then you go downstairs and they take you through a room which they demonstrate how to make the Hanji paper. It's also a hands-on process, which means you can actually take home some of your own handmade Hanji paper.
And this is all entirely for free. Most of this exhibition actually has English written on the wall, so it's easy to process as you move along.
It's a much nicer museum than I expected. It's a lot bigger and there's not too much information, so you're not processing too much at a time. It's very simple, very easy to understand, and it's also quite visual as well. I think we only spent about half an hour here, but only because they're very close to closing time. We came way after 4. That's our fault.
They were really nice, and they still let us in, and they still let us look around, and we didn't feel rushed at all.
But you can spend 1 or 2 hours if you really get into the process of going through the paper making.
They have a small gift shop at the end, and they have amazingly cheap products for something that's handmade. And they're very beautiful, so I would recommend really taking a look through the gift shop.
Anyway, as to where you can find this paper museum and how to get here, as well as the opening times, everything will be in our article, which will be linked in the description below.
As to where we are now, follow us on Instagram at TwinspeakEatGo. We'll see you next time. It has a very Romanesque, style European,